back into our second matchup of the night for round 2, day 1 of the Ufgl Black Ops 6 League. You already know, colorblind Matt Man in the booth to take you through the action. A little bit of a 3-0 smoke show to kick our day off, Matt, but we're talking about our next matchup here, X Element versus the Skyrisers. This one could be a little bit more interesting.
Now, this one could be an absolute brawl of a matchup, Quinn. We could be potentially seeing that 5-map absolute cinema kind of series. You're coming into this one, though, expecting X Element to kind of have an edge over the side of the Skyrisers. They were able to 3-0 them on land. That was able to push them on to face that Skyfox Studio squad. You're looking at X Element to kind of continue that, as well as the information that we got leading into this one that Markel will not be donning the cape and cowl for the side of the Skyrisers. It's going to be very difficult for them, I think, to compete with X Element without one of their main slayers.
Yeah, and probably my favorite player from that Miami land. I mean, the aura to pull out your phone and videotape X Element Black, by the way. So there might be a little bit of bad blood between these teams. Not necessarily the same roster, but the same org. I mean, starting to see some interesting narratives between these two teams. You already know the maps, Protocol, Hardpoint, Red Card, S&D, Hacienda Control. You've already seen those. This one could potentially go the distance, though. Skyline, Hardpoint, Vault, S&D await us in the wings. Matt, I don't even want to stall. I want to get into our predictions. X Element, Skyrisers. Tell me right off the gate, who you taking?
Hey, man, I'm taking the side of X Element. Look, this team has been on an absolute tear since the new roster change. They've been one of the top teams, if not the top team in the league. And they were one of the teams, along with the Skyfox Studio, that went the deepest in that Miami land, obviously losing out to Skyfox Studios ultimately as they drop out. But again, I think this X Element squad looking for a little bit of redemption here in their first game back online. And again, with the Skyrisers missing one of their main slayers, I think this is all poised for X Element to take it.
Yeah, you have no doubts who I'm going to be taking here. It's X Element, baby. It just every single reason that you listed, not having Markel as well, I think that that's going to be a hit to this roster. I hope we get to see him on the league side of things. And for Garrett and Shane, they will also be taking X Element, and how the times have changed. It's a 4 sweep across the board, an opportunity for all of us to go up 2-0, or if the Skyrisers can come out here with some extra firepower, even us up in our pick'ems at 1 apiece. But I absolutely agree with everything that you just said. It feels like it's X Element's game to lose. We've already seen how this one plays out when you have Markel on the team, him being the kind of X factor that we saw out in the Miami lane. When you don't have him, I feel like this just feels like an opportunity for X Element to go out there and start off round number 2 with some gusto.
No, absolutely. And a map set that really plays into the AR heavy kind of gameplay with that Red Card S&D and Protocol Hardpoint to start things off. Our first 2 guaranteed maps. I just think the ARs are going to really come alive for this side of the X Element squad. They have absolute gunny prowess from top to bottom, and they play so fundamentally well, which is what we really didn't see from that first X Element squad. That's now the X Element Black, respectively. Heading into this one, again, you talked about a clean 4 against the board for us here in the booth. And again, waiting to see what the chat picks as well. But this is looking like an X Element time to show up, show out. And again, kind of like Skyfox Studio did, show that you are still one of the top teams, especially before the Speedy White Men and the Rally Royals join the mix here in the upcoming days and upcoming weeks.
Yeah, it's only going to get harder as we progress throughout round number 2 with those additional teams joining the mix, and it should be very interesting to see what those teams can do within the landscape. But I think this is an opportunity between all of our matchups tonight for an upset, though. I will absolutely say, if Skyrisers come out here, I mean, this is not a roster that can't win this. It very much is a roster that we expect, I think, both of us to go to at least a game 4 against X Element, an opportunity for them to start off, again, going up against a powerhouse within the UFGL. I think, though, if X Element comes out here maybe a little bit over-aggressive, again, coming off of a really solid land performance, we know that these boys, they are a scrappy roster. If they get a little overheated, maybe Skyrisers can find a lane into this series. So don't write them off by any stretch of the imagination. This one very much could get close, but I do just think X Element, with this roster, getting to talk to them throughout the Miami land as well, they carry such a great mentality into all of these games. They're not going to necessarily size down to any opponent. It's going to have to be through brute force for the Skyrisers to find their win condition within this series. And talking about a win condition here, Matt, if they are to take it against our pick'ems, where do you think they find their first opportunity to do so?
I really think it's going to have to be inside of those slower game modes, inside of the S&D, and they really have to make good on the controls. We talk about it all the time where control is such a back and forth map on Hacienda, Very straightforward. On the defensive side, you need to be able to set up that spawn trap. You need to be able to slow them down, stagger those pushes, never let them get a solidified forward towards the hill. And on the side of offense, we just saw it from the side of Skyfox Studios. 1-4 dead can change the name of the game. If you're able to just get that one wave of kills, everybody stack the hill, get at least those ticks in your advantage to get defense for that last round, could be where we do see this play. But this is what I wanted to see. Impulse entering the fray here is very interesting to me. I like to see what he does.
Yeah, again, not on lane, and he was arguably their X factor, but Devin, with the snaps to start things off, you look for him to get active early on that AR, center this X Element roster, and over towards this P1 side where it just doesn't feel like that they can win a gunfight until Impulse find his name in the fray.
And that was a wild start from Devin is Frosty, but now, as we talked about it, Skyrisers are starting to stabilize a little bit here. You get a couple of kills to go your way. Now the 3-for-1 trade. Make it the 4-for-1 as Impulse with the Jackal finding the heady off of P1. And now Skyrisers can start to move their way up the map here. And X Element a little bit cold coming out the gate.
Yeah, and again, Impulse being added, I think that is the Markel of this roster that you look at to kind of put the team on his back. We've seen him do it time and time again. It's an opportunity for the Skyrisers very much still, but look at how aggressive X Element are going to be playing. I mean, they are taking full credence. Might be a little bit too over-aggressive, though, as Skyrisers will get a spawn out with those kills. Have an opportunity to contend over towards this P2 side with a little bit of an artificial pinch.
Yeah, and as long as you're able to read into this, though, it could be good. You know exactly where they're coming from around through the backside. You now eliminate process, and you're able to find it. It's a perfect read out of the side of X Element. And now Ace is kind of alone here towards the backside. It's not going to be able to find a kill. It's a clean wipe here. Skyriser's going to have to regress now from the backside. Do not have the rotations over to P3 either.
Yeah, it's just such a next level play because you flip them out with P2 on the board, so now you have these P3 spawns. They're able to win a couple of ones in the hill. Aces will be shut down, so that's the last set of reinforcements. X Element should not only be able to walk away with this scrap, but on top of it, again, they've secured P3 already. They've done the dirty work on this map, set themselves up real pretty.
So pretty indeed. And I mean, Quinn, you talked about it. It's a next level play, a little extra dimension inside of the hard point, and they're flaunting it, right? We talked about the fundamental play for them so good. Set themselves up with a free rotation 30 seconds into the previous hill. Now look towards the backside here. A couple of Skyrisers players knocking at the back door.
It's a little bit of a split spawn here. Skyrisers with an opportunity, though. Quit might just read it through and through. Absolutely does, but a 2-for-2 trade. Still has an opportunity here for Skyrisers to break on in, and an Impulse kill will very much give them the opportunity to realize that. X Element now spawning from the backside. Hit 2 Electric Boogaloo from the boys in pink. Can they get it done? The answer so far has been no. Now unequivocally no as the Quit last player standing.
And it's going to be Skyrisers now with all 3 left here inside the hill. Going to start to force out some of these gun shells. 1-for-1 trade, though. Goes either which way. Elias from the bottom side may be able to shut things down. But again, you have to make a very settled play here with 16 seconds left. Just trying to get this kill, but he won't be able to find it. Now Skyrisers maybe with the free rotation down into P4.
X Element, you're going to have 2 players here. It's going to be Void and Devin looking at every single angle. Some good tags out of Devin, but he's not going to be able to collect a kill. Now it really does come down to Void. What can he find in the bottom deck? Not going to be able to get it done. But Elias arriving just in the nick of time is going to allow X Element to funnel on into P4 for a little bit of time.
And it got a little bit mixy there, but X Element is able to hold on. And like you said, this is a big money hill now for the side of X Element. Could extend that lead very, very far heading into the next set of rotations. Skyrisers, the hit, knocking on in. A couple of chows that go either which way. Quit's going to be able to find the first, be able to find the second. 2-for-2 trade. The team nade in from Simfi only leaves him alive, and he only to fall. X Element with a clean 4 dead in the feed.
First across into that 100-point barrier, and now Elias just doing the Medea method, pulls out the pistol, absolutely whips him. Skyrisers looking for a lane on in with 20 seconds left, but it's just not going to be found. X Element continuing to collect kills in the hill, now outside of the hill on top of it as well. For the Skyrisers, I mean, you're going to be down nearly 100 points heading over towards this P1 side, which Elias has already started the rotation over towards and is going to solidify with a kill.
X Element, the first one in the hill, now in with the kills. It's another 4 wipe in the feed as this second set of rotations pops online. Devin Frosty already working the cutoff angles here, potentially getting into the spawn as well. Waiting for the right time to strike. Could have the timing going perfectly in his favor here. But now the kills start to come through white, but again, trades going either which way. You're not going to be able to find much on the hill, and that's X Element again in the feed.
Oh, and Devin just skeet shooting out here now. X Element making it look easy. Into Grandma's he will go, and he just absolutely wipes him. My goodness, Devin, you just can't keep doing it to him. Devin, stop it! shutting it down. White Hill time over towards P1, but with a nearly 120-point lead, and with Devin frying like this, I don't think it particularly matters.
No, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there, partner. I mean, he's got the cruise in the back pocket here, just waiting when he elects to use it. You've got Quit 19-8 on a 3 streak of his own. And again, X Element working around for these spawns now, solidified for P2. Skyrisers going to be on the outside looking in once again as this new hill will pop. And X Element continues to just extend that lead.
Just the rotational gameplay here has been so good for X Element, but breaking opportunity here for the Skyrisers, a 2-for-1 trade. It's going to allow them to find their way on into the hill, but just for a second before X Element is able to capsize their way in. Semfi, one-man band, just trying to get it done, not going to be able to, but the reinforcements will be here for Skyrisers for another opportunity.
But again, it's X Element knocking on the back door, but Impulse is able to shut it down. And finally, X Element on the outside as Skyrisers have a chance to slow down, but you can't slow down ever so slightly when you're playing X Element. Now, Void from the ladder, able to find the first. The shot's in, not going to be good for the second, but it's a 3-for-1 trade. 4-for-1 as X Element takes the hill with ease.
I mean, Devin, 17-10, he is catching form at the perfect time on this map. Another 3, dead as Elias just hits the button. Over towards P3, X Element will have the good side spawns as well. We talk again about that rotational gameplay. It's been purely perfect from the boys in pink. Can they hold those? The question was them. Find the backlines. They'll be able to read onto that. So now it becomes a linear approach for Skyrisers.
I mean, you talked about Devin as Frosty at 17-10. You have to look at Elias 19-10, Quit 23-11. The Gunny from X Element is just heated up to an all-time level, and now it's showing itself even more in the kill feed. Another 4 white dead, taking the hill. And again, Quinn, you can win it right here, right now.
And it feels like they very much should. I mean, everything for the side of X Element going so very well. You're just playing the sniper lines at this point. There's absolutely no credence for the Skyrisers to finish this one out. X Element looking to walk away with this one with some ease.
Again, you just have to make sure the tick is perfectly in your favor. You can't allow the contention to come through. As it does, you'll go at least to a P4 here for the sky to the Skyrisers. But again, being down 237-81, Quinn, you said it earlier, it doesn't much matter. We'll go on to the back cave, at least one more hill to go as the Skyrisers knocking on the door, trying to find the break. But again, X Element trying to run to the finish.
Oh, and it's just going to be, again, immediate evisceration. Age, the last to stand, the last to fall. X Element, they are here, and they are ready to rumble. Then round 2 of the Ufgl, another shutdown will come into the fray. Last second contestant immediately denied. It's just such good plays from the side of X Element, knowing again that you have to be picture perfect on that P3, playing the P4 rotation, even when you're up by nearly 150 points. Just next level. They're not letting anything slide. Never going to take the foot off the gas.
No, I mean, it just seemed like after that P1 to P2 rotation, X Element just got hot, and they just kept getting hotter to the point of boiling, Quinn. The guns were at an all-time high. You see Semfi here doing what he can. It seemed like everybody from the side of Skyrisers was just trying to do what they can. But 9-22 from Aces, 5-23 from Age. We are getting deadly close to the Zuma numbers. 21-11 from Elias, 22-11 from Devin as Frosty, a 30-13 performance from Quit. It just seemed like everyone from the side of X Element hitting an all-time form.
Yeah, and now for the Skyrisers, I mean, we talked about it. Has to be the S&D within this series, we feel like. We're not seeing them show up the same way in terms of the respawn. I just think it's so crazy, though, when you see Impulse spawn in, you're thinking, hey, maybe he can put the team on his back, just not able to have the impact that we've once seen out of him when X Element comes up to play. This is a roster that, again, heading into Miami was still a little bit new, so now they have the opportunity to play a full round together heading into Chicago. They have the opportunity to really get things solidified, and again, I think that this roster has a lot of potential. I don't think it's deniable by any stretch of the imagination. And once Rally Royals and the Speedy White Men get locked in, I think there's going to be some very interesting matchups potentially on the cards.
Yeah, I think the league could really get turned on its head with this second round of games, Quinn. And heading into this one as well, you talked about it. You really thought Impulse potentially able to put the team on his back. I mean, 22 kills out of him, but when you got teammates going 9-22, 5-23 for 14 combined kills throughout an entire hardpoint, you just need some help from the supporting cast there, Quinn. There's just not a lot that you can expect from Impulse there when he's in essentially a 2v4. You have to see the supporting cast step up a little bit here, especially in the gunny. We talked about it. If you let X Element get going, if you let them get hot, they can absolutely take over a map and send you to the Nether Realm. That's exactly what we saw there. It's what we saw from Skyfox Studios in our first series. I think we might be seeing a repeat of it.
Yeah, and again, less a reflection on Impulse. I think I said that the wrong way. It's not necessarily Impulse, anything that he's doing wrong. It's more so just, again, the Skyrisers, we've seen it time and time again. We've seen them be able to work it out. We've seen them be able to get teams going on the ropes. But Impulse, eventually, you're just going to kind of run out of the magic. And again, against a squad like X Element, who's just going to come out here and they're going to bully you. There's just not a whole lot that you can do. I'm very interested to see if his impact can be further felt, though, on an S&D. Feels very much like a Sergeant Solo kind of scenario where he very much has the opportunity to put the team on his back. Now with the respawns not being a factor, and now with the opportunity to just get smothered out, not necessarily something that you're thinking about, maybe you see Impulse step up even more for this squad and potentially put us in an interesting spot heading into the red card S&D. We're just theorizing at this point because we're just trying to find a lane for the Skyrisers after a deadly map number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, you talked about the Sergeant Solo-like performance. I mean, even if Impulse is able to drop 16, 17 kills, we saw it for Sergeant Solo. I mean, you still lose out in round 11 if you're not able to have the full team performance, especially inside of an S&D. Things just become that much more difficult, and seeing the side of X Element that inside the respawns have looked absolutely deadly. Inside of their S&Ds, it's been a little bit more hit or miss. This has to be the clear win condition for the side of the Skyrisers. You're not able to walk away with this one, and you just go into Spawn Trap Central of Hacienda Control. Again, we could be seeing another DoorDash type of series, and we've started to see that with the side of the Skyrisers, with the side of the X Elements, right? They're able to chain these back together, and I mean Skyfox Studios. With these new rosters in play, Quinn, everything now kind of turning on its head from that round 1.
Here we go. X Elements starting off on the attacker side. Initial tags coming through from the side of the Skyrisers over towards A, just trying to prevent them from going there. X Element, they're going to play the slow game. They're going to just wait for the Skyrisers to make that first mistake. This is a team on S&D that likes to play the first blood strategy. Slow and steady.
Very much live and die by that first blood, but you find it there in Void. Yep. Able to get it in the back pocket. Now for the side of the Skyrisers, you have to find a way back into this, and Devin Frosty will just shut that right down. Aces and Simfi, the last two alive. Bomb will be planted for X Element, and this is going to be a tough situation to walk away from.
Yeah, and you just see the immediate initiation. The second they find that first blood, now for the Skyrisers, Simfi, Aces. 2v4, just trying to work their way through in any way possible. 30 seconds left to do so. Simfi trying to get that top angle support. X Element just not going to give him a lane on into it. Quit able to snap on in. Ace is the last player standing, just trying to get a shout onto the bomb. Will be able to find one, but unfortunately for him, immediate cleanup kill on aisle A. First round on the board.
And again, you get that first blood in the back pocket. It's going to be very hard to knock off X Element when they're able to just continue to turn you in a blender. I mean, how many times do we see them on lane, Quinn? Once they're able to find that first blood, almost 90% of the time, the second is sure to follow as well. And that's exactly what X Element is able to do, playing the numbers game to perfection. And again, just keeping their foot on the gas pedal. It's what we know this team for, Quinn. You talk about when you give some of these teams an inch, being able to take a mile. X Element, I feel like, is the definition of that.
Already up 1-0. Just continuing the onslaught that we saw on the defensive side. They will go now. Now just have to hold their irons, just hold those power positions, working their way on up. Immediately, the bomb is just going to fall into Narnia. The 2-for-1 trade might allow them to just go ahead and pick that right back up, lick their wounds. Continue the assault over towards B.
And inside of X Element, you don't have a lot of credence over here inside of the restaurant either, so you're going to have to play the retake here. Elias, from around the backside, the timing just going to be a little bit too late here, Quinn. Skyrisers are going to be able to get set up. You may be able to find one here around on the raft. This is going to be very interesting timing. Simfi has been able to play the perfect corner. How have they not seen each other? Back and forth we go, and no Simfi able to get it. You got to check your corns. Now Devin is Frosty left alone in the 1v3.
And again, you just always ask yourself, if these players had walls, what could they do? Now what can Devin do in the 1v3 is the question. The glass break is just going to give the timings away. 19 seconds left to work with as he collects the first kill. Might just be the time being the additional factor here. Now the nades are going to come out. First kill, second kill as well. Can he get the third, though? Age over towards the backside. Now it's just going to have to hop on it. Not going to be able to get it done. Eventually he will fall, and Skyrisers able to collect their first round.
Yeah, I mean, 5-10 more seconds inside of that restaurant, and maybe Devin can make things a little bit more mixy. But just again, Time being that additional factor, not going to be able to make it happen. Age perfect bomb check. Even things up here, Quinn. Back and forth we go. We see this side of the Skyrisers holding strong here inside the SMD, and you're seeing the supporting cast being able to pick it up a little bit more so here inside of map 2. But again, Quinn, what does the gas tank look like here heading into some of these later rounds? What does X Element look like as they may be able to continue to dominate from the attacker side standpoint?
Here we go. Last attacker side round, as you said, dominance. Can they continue? Can they keep the pressure on? Keep cooking the Skyrisers. Skyrisers holding their line. Over towards the B side. Aces is going to be the first line of defense. Immediately gets put on skates by Devin. Traded back out by Impulse. That bomb not going to go down quite yet.
Plant will be delayed ever so slightly, but again, with so much time, I mean, you just have X Element able to kind of run around, wait for the opening for the plant as it comes through. Quit. Just being able to watch the wrap here. He has to get the timing perfectly as Age will give away his positioning. Couple of tags on in. Quinn not going to be able to find it until now. But it will be traded back out. Traded again. 2 for 1 now as X Element up at 1v1.
Quinn able to play the timing. But now for Elias into the 1v1 against Semfi. Does Semfi have the opportunity here? Just barely going to get out without being spotted. 20 seconds left to work with here. Still very much winnable. But does he anticipate Elias in the backlines? Working this pinch, just clearing every single corner by process of elimination. He has to know where this is going to go. The timing is just going to be perfect from Elias. Not going to be able to collect the kill, though. Will he hop on in time? Did he get on the bomb in time? It's going to come down to a matter of nanoseconds. Semfi! He gets it!
Oh
no
my
way!
God! Oh my
No
God!
way!
0.0 on the clock as Semfi is able to walk away with one of the clutchest defuse plays you will ever see. Puts it down, finds the kill, immediately back on the defuse, and he has got to have quicker thumbs than the rest to get that Dom defuse in.
Elias with the timing, you think it's perfect, but 0.0 seconds. That doesn't seem real. Skyrisers. It's the ice from Semfi. It's able to get it done. Now with a 1-round lead, can they potentially start to use a little bit of that momentum to cut the wind out of X Elements to sails?
You have to use it. You have to use it as the bounce back factor, as where you regain here in the series. Huge swing round coming up as well, Quinn. See Impulse with that bomb. They want to potentially work this towards the A side, but they have a lot of pressure here in X Element. Potential rotate needs to be hit here, but already the first blood in from Devin.
Oh, Elias. He's just going to work his way into the spawn. Skyrisers, will they even anticipate the aggression? You have to slip your way on through, and you just might be able to. Holding hands with Devin on top of it. Now it just gets mixy in the backlines, and it all comes down to Impulse, the 1v4, able to get it down to a 1v3. Might be able to get this bomb plant over towards A, but it just feels like an unwinnable scenario.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to have pressure here from all sides as now has to deal with the first line. Elias, the shot's coming through the stage at every angle. The first child is out, but it's not going to be able to find the kill. Information is surely given away now. He's able to pick up the first. Devin caught on the reload. This gets a little bit more mixy. Impulse just trying to find the shots on in, but again, the time's going to be the additional factor here, Quinn. But if you get the kills...
Oh my God!
A little bit more mixy than you would have liked from the side of X Element, but you're able to walk away with the round, maybe crawl away, Quinn.
Yeah, if you're X Element, you're not necessarily feeling great about how that went. That's just Impulse doing Impulse things at that point, able to make us believers at the very least. Now, tied up. It feels like the most eventful 4 rounds of Red Card S&D you might ever see to this point, and how it finishes out. I mean, nobody knows.
And it just seems like one of those games, Quinn, where the S&D could make or break a team. And with rounds being this close, being decided by nanoseconds, being decided by one bullet, going either which way. You talk about being anybody's game inside of this one, and the Skyrisers need it.
Skyrisers going to strike first, immediately equalized on out, though. Holding strong over towards this outskirts side. X Element, they're not going to give up, though. They're going to be relentless over towards this A side. You have Devin working his way into the back lines, looking to hand out some crispy back shots, and will take Impulse out of the play. Elias on the other side of the coin will strike as well. And it all comes down to aces now in the 1v3.
We've seen the 1v3s get a little bit mixy before for the side of X Element. How does Aces turn this on its head ever so slightly? If his timing works out and he's able to stop the plant, it could be huge, but he's just trying to sneak his way through, not going to be able to find it. That's going to be the additional factor here now for Aces, and maybe a little bit too much on his plate to clean this one up, Quinn.
Could very well be the dagger there. You had your opportunity, you're just not able to get the timing to swing your way. Seems to know that there's at least one behind that stage there. It's just not going to be able to get the shots to go. 27 seconds left to work with, his time ticking away. Should be able to collect this kill, should be able to find the round, find the lead if you're X Element. What a good setup, what a good round for them. Just trading out the kills, you get the pinch in time from Devin to just put it out of the realm of possibility for the Skyrisers.
Yeah, and again, you talked about it inside of the 1v3. Once that bomb goes down, that was the chance, right? If he's able to sneak in, take out the defuser, he makes that round mix, he makes a couple of heads turn, but it's just too much to finish, too tall of a mountain to climb. And again, these swing rounds just not going the way of the side of the Skyrisers right now. And you look at the rounds they did win, Quinn. If it's not a last nanosecond defuse, this is a 4-1 lead here for the side of X Element. Just those few rounds going the way of the side of the Skyrisers. They need to start finding a couple of cleaner type of rounds where you get that bomb planted, you get 2-3 alive at the end of the round, you're able to play the numbers game. X Element feels like they're starting to build a little bit momentum here inside of map 2.
Just definitely feels like a team game versus the individualistic plays. Individualistic play out of Elias, though, just to open things up. And now the pinch on in from Devin as well. Catches Aces with his pants down. Age will fall as well. How quickly everything can fall apart if you're Impulse. We've seen him work things in a 1v4, though. Don't call it a comeback quite yet.
If he did this, though.
No, crazy.
Equalized to 3-3 in this positioning. I mean, could change the landscape of this series. But again, Quinn, I mean, he's chasing ghosts right now, and they're just toying with their food at this point. The slide chow is out. Impulse finds the first. Almost the turn and burn, but a little too weak to be able to find the chow. X Element now up 4-2, sitting firmly in the driver's seat. And again, Quinn, we talked about it. Maybe a few sporadic rounds here and there for the side of the Skyrisers, but not putting together any consistency here inside of map number 2, and starting to lead to their demise here late on in this map.
Yeah, and again, it just feels like the team play factor not necessarily favoring them at this stage. X Element, this is a roster, as for that have been playing together for a couple of weeks now. They're starting to get accustomed to each other's tendencies. For the side of the Skyrisers, I mean, this isn't even the same roster that you had out in Miami. So you're looking at them, you're looking for them to find their footing, but it's really just been the individualistic factor to this point. Bomb in hand of X Element, looking to further put this out of the realm of possibility. Devin just creeping his way up, looking for that first blood.
Sound cue will be given away, but I don't think Simfly's going to be ready for it. The distraction comes through, but Impulse finds 2, one being a teammate, though, so it's going to leave them a man down towards this backside. You do have a little bit of a pinch coming up from the side of the Skyrisers, but again, having to make this play, and the timing has to be perfect from both of these players, and it's just back and forth, ring around the rosy type plays. 2v2, Quinn. Skyrisers need this round desperately.
X Element, not a whole lot of map control to work with here. Do they read Aces in his positioning? No, he's going to back up. He's just going to give this plant over towards B, potentially for free. X Element going to read into the fact that it's for free. They'll get that bomb down in the 2v2. Now the timing going to be the additional factor here. As the Skyrisers trying to hit the regain. Impulse and Aces. What can they do?
You talked about it. I mean, X Element didn't have a lot of map control, but the B site completely given up for free now kind of flips the script for them. Now X Element with the upper hand here in the round just has to play off the bomb. 25 seconds left, shots coming in. But again, Skyrisers forced to enter on in, and the time is ticking away from them quickly, Quinn.
And again, they just have to go. That nade just being a costly one at that. It's going to delay the push, but Aces from the side is going to be able to find one. Devin, the last man standing, be able to find his first. Now just has to play around the time. Gets the chow to go. Devin is frosty for a reason. Finds the 1v2 and finds the round for X Element.
Devin with the ice, 11-4 inside of the S&D, and adds 2 more to the tally, as you said, inside of the 1v2. Perfect chows on out for him with the Jackal in hand as he's able to make it work. And like you said, you put him on map point now here for the side of X Element. Chance to go up 2-0 in the series. And it felt like that was it there for the Skyrisers. That was the round they desperately needed to go in their favor. You give up that B plant for free, Quinn. When you go back and look at the VOD, it's just going to be so puzzling. Just a tough position there from the Skyrisers.
Yeah, and Aces had the opportunity to catch Devin completely by surprise over towards the top side. He just doesn't send it forward. Unfortunate scenes there, and now the tags immediately coming in is going to back the Skyrisers up ever so slightly. We'll be able to find the first, though, on Devoid as he gets a little bit overzealous with the angling. X Element working the wrap. Will it be a timely wrap? As the question is Quit getting so much information into this B site as the bomb goes down.
Trophy system going to be in place, though, so he won't be able to find the nade, but he will be able to find the kill. Equals things up here, as now they're going to be a man up. Age may be the next one to fall, has to get out of dodge, and now it's going to be clear entrance for X Element here. Only a Simfi inside of this site, and they're already going to be hopping on defuse. I don't know if they're going to expect this. Simfi finds the first, but he not going to be able to find the second. That's going to be the kills. Now the defuse clear to come through, and X Element clear with a 2-0 lead.
3 kills on the round from Quit to close it out. On top of that, that man putting them on ice. X Element 2-0 in the series, a 6-2 finish on the S&D to get them to that point. And again, we talked about it, that this was the win condition, we think, within the series for the side of the Skyrisers. You now go into a Hacienda control, an opportunity here for X Element to just play the bully game mode that we know this for. We saw them on the respawn, we saw them put the Skyrisers in the 100-point club, and we saw what Sky Fox can do on this map. Feels like X Element, a little bit of deja vu, same thing in a slightly different font.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of talked about it, and you saw it in the prod picks leading up to this. It was a 4 pick for Skyfox, and it was a 4 pick for X Element, and you're seeing why. We've started to get accustomed to these new rosters and what these teams present. It's a clean slate for everybody. Now heading in here to round 2, you're going to have new top dogs at the top of the league, and you're already seeing them performing here early. Quinn, we talked about kind of a couple, not necessarily warm-up matches, but a couple matches to make sure that your footing is still beneath you here heading into the online scene after LAN. And so far, it looks like both of our top dogs here below state early, Quinn. 250 to 84, 6-2. And you talked about it. Heading into a bully game mode like Hacienda Control, this just feels like the pendulum swinging in X Element's favor, and it really seems like it will never stop swinging in this series.
Yeah, and again, it just feels like the window is closed for the side of the Skyrisers. I mean, even if you bring it to the Skyline hardpoint, you saw how Protocol Hardpoint played. You got a 100-point club. Things are just going to get that much quicker, and for X Element, that just favors them. Feels like this either ends on the Hacienda Control or very much will be over by the Skyline Hardpoint. We did say that the Skyrisers very much could take this to a Game 4. Not necessarily out of the realm of possibility. Is it likely, though? Probably not. You're looking at this roster. It's just, again, questions across the board. Looked great at points during round number 1. Has been definitely an up and down roller coaster, though. And it just creates such an interesting narrative. Again, we haven't seen what could very well be, and probably should very well be, the 2 top dogs now entering the Ufgl and the Rally Royals and Speedy White Men, who were supposed to debut on the top of the show, but unfortunately just weren't able to. It makes things very interesting, though, because 4 squads like X Element, 4 squads like Skyfox Studio, how are they going to stack up against seasoned challengers players? A lot of different narratives to be followed, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and close this thing out on some Hacienda Control.
Quinn calling his team shot early for him here. He's calling the 3-0.
Hey.
Skyrisers, they need to get into it. They need to get into it early, and it's already going to be a barrage of pink kills. Age only going to be good for tags. If position gave it away, onto the B site they will go. Only for a moment, though, as a couple of kills will come through. But again, you have X Element players starting to creep their way around into the spawns potentially here.
Elias is just being so annoying to immediately start the round off. I mean, when things start off like this, where X Element is already into your spawns before the pistol goes off. Ridiculous scenes. Ace is able to work his way out of the spawns, and you're able to hit for 3. Still have Quid over towards this A side, who might be able to be good for that first tick of progress, but is immediately going to have to get out of dodge. He'll be shut down. Now reset here on the attacker side for X Element, but they are finding the kills early to make their way out of the spawn.
And X Element's just trying to make this mixy. They're just looking for that 4 dead in the feed, and they're going to find 3 here. Now you know where everyone is. You have a potential to hop on this site because Void's going to be able to play the cutoff crossers. But again, you're not going to be able to keep track of everyone here as Impulse is able to get in for 1. And now that time has to become a slight factor for you here, Quinn. 33 seconds left. You're still being able to play the spawn trap, but you haven't gotten a single tick on either of these sites.
Devin looking to mitigate that, looking to right the wrongs ever so slightly. First tick of progress should be in for the side of X Element. Justifiable kills as well as they further aggress their way into the spawn. Impulse, though, out of his own spawn, will be able to collect that kill. Make sure that no more progress goes over towards that A side, but immediately traded right back out. Time being the additional factor here. X Element, they do have to pause. They have to get a little bit of time on the board, it feels like. Playing the kill battle to perfection, but you're not getting good ticks.
No, I mean, you're really just going for kills here at this point. You have to find somebody here going to one of these sites, and you just really can't find the credence to do so. Now, the little bit of a switcheroo as they go over to the B site. You get a couple of kills to go your way. Now, the double stack over towards B, but Aces does have a flank around the back.
Nah, he's gonna get shut down almost immediately, but can they hit it from the front is the question. The answer is no. When Quid is beaming like this, one more player has the opportunity over towards that top plat side to at least buy a little bit of time, but now the information overload on top of it being instituted over towards A. The time being the additional factor here. X Element, they have to secure one of these zones. They have to get this final tick of progress. Otherwise, things could get a little bit mixy. Kill comes in from Impulse. Is it the matter of time being the additional factor here? X Element able to shut it down over towards A for now, but it's not going to go their ways. Eventually, the time just catches up. The round goes the way of the Skyrisers.
It just feels like a couple of missed opportunities there from the side of X Element. You had multiple chances to get onto that A side. You were playing the spawn traps well, and it just seemed like every player kind of wanted to play the spawn trap, right? Every player wanted to push up and get the kills. They just need to play the point a little bit more there on the offensive side. They are able to secure 4 ticks there, Quinn, but again, now on the defensive round, how do Skyrisers respond with a rare opportunity to go up 2-0 in the control?
It really felt like X Element was doing their best impression of the Speedy White Men, specifically on day 1 when they were playing in pool play. I don't think we really ever saw them get on any hill. They were just playing the kill game, and it kind of just, again, the time catches up to you eventually. For the side of X Element, maybe a little bit of a wrong move there. Back onto the defensive side, they will go, though. Again, defense wins championships in Hacienda control. Will they be able to do so? Equalize us down.
In the fray, it'll be a 2-for-1-3. Oh, but a team kill that equalizes things out. Skyrisers will be onto that B site, but again, X Element now has the numbers starting to surround this point, but Simfi, he'll be able to find the early shots in for 1. Quick goes on the chase, ring around the Rosie B will go, and finally he will drop. No tick secured yet for the side of the Skyrisers, and now kills going pink in the feed.
X Element just trying to keep them contained, keep them boxed into their spawn. They'll be able to get out the front door, but that's as far as you will go when Devin gets the surprise on you. Just again, throwing their bodies on in, trying to stop the Skyrisers. You're not going to be able to stop Aces, though. He'll be able to find his way on out, trying to make your way over towards the B side and working your way the top as well. Skyrisers, a couple of kills, matriculate their way, and an opportunity may be presenting itself.
Again, though, Quinn, you look up at that time, 35 seconds left. Skyrisers have to start to move quickly. Again, you have to get towards one of these sites. If you're getting the kills, is great, but no ticks now secured for the side of the Skyrisers. Now a couple of kills start to go their way. You have to watch out for Void, though. Around through the top side, just waiting to wait for one of these players. Oh, he jumps right over one, right onto the back. And you talk about giving out the back shots.
Yeah, they don't get more crispy than that, quite frankly. Time now ticking into red. X Element just continuing to press the action on forward, but the Skyrisers finding a couple of kills to keep this mixy at the very least. You have an opportunity now with a couple of kills in the feed to make your way over towards A with a clean 3 stack on the hill. Again, Matt, the offense not being very successful for X Element. Skyrisers an opportunity to take the tick lead here.
Yeah, but they're going to have to at least get this site because look up at the time, Quinn. Only 10 seconds remaining. The shots now are in. It's a 2-for-2 trade. You have to figure out your way here now onto one of these sites. You have a little bit of credence here potentially over towards A if you can get the players to go through the bottom side. Impulse able to find 2, but not the 3rd as the last tick walks away. It will be X Element that are able to come through on the defensive side and even things up at 1 apiece.
And as you said, an opportunity now on the attacker side. They will go. They have the opportunity to just drive away with that if there's any indication from how the defensive side played out. Just masterful work. That's how you want to play Hacienda control.
I mean, it's to a T, right? We talked about it. It's almost the Speedy White Men approach that has changed the name of the game. When Kama said they were one of the best Hasi control teams in the game, he was not lying. And a lot of teams have seemingly taken the same approach. But again, Quinn, you have to play the OBJ.
All about it. OBJ game mode. Can X Element do it this time? We're towards the attacker side. They will go. Couple of kills to open things up, though. Impulse will be able to strike first. X Element working their way out of their spawn slow and steady, but the Skyrisers will be able to shut things down. You still have to deal with Void, who's working his way into the spawns, trying to play the Skyrisers back as much as you can. Create a lane. Impulse slipping on through. He'll be shut down. Now X Element making their way forward.
finding the kills to justify it as well. When you got Devin as Frosty just running through your back lines, it can be so difficult to actually find any success. Offense, defense, doesn't matter. But again, the Skyrisers, 2-for-1 trade here, Quinn, and now just have to find a couple more kills to justify the map positioning, and that may have been the 2 there.
Big strike there from Impulse. He's going to back them up that much more. Trying to work their way from the rock side once again, but now Impulse, he's going to have the opportunity to slow that even more. Lies with the immediate refrag to go, and a sea of pink enters the feed, but the time being the additional factor once again for the side of X Element. This time the offense moving that much more slow. Finally find your way over towards A. You find a couple of kills, but Impulse once again, the thorn in the backside continues to keep the time moving.
And this time, it's a little bit of what the Skyrisers are able to do. Just make things mixy, continue to play the trade battles back and forth. They've never allowed X Element to get a solidified forward towards the hill. And again, you see it in the kill feed. Pinstripes going either which way. Only 1 tick of progress is in, and it's the 3-for-1 for the Skyrisers, who may be walking away with this round.
7 seconds left. You got to make your way through the madness. Devin has to be the one to touch. He's the furthest one advanced. Will he be able to in time? Instead, it's over towards the B side where Quit will be able to save the round. A little bit of information overload as well from the side of Void, but 1.5 seconds. Void will be taken down. Now Quit has to play his life, has to duck, has to dive and dodge. What is the bullets coming from the side of the Skyrisers?
And I would have liked to see X Element potentially get towards the A site here. They're only able to get 1 player towards it, 3 dead in the feed, and the Skyrisers able to walk away with another defensive round, which Quinn continues to win championships here inside of Hacienda Control. And now for the side of the Skyrisers, a rare opportunity to extend this series. And Quinn, a rare opportunity here. You start to gain a little bit of momentum against X Element. You can potentially start to give yourself a little bit of credence here in the series.
Yeah, it's not over by any stretch of the imagination. I know I called the shot. These are my boys. They're my boys. Skyrisers, an opportunity on the attacker side, and depending how this attacker side plays out, potentially another opportunity on the defensive side if we do go to that illustrious round number 5. Close this thing out, find a map on the board, make our series contentious to some degree. X Element immediate hit over towards the top rock side, but the Skyrisers going to be able to strike for 2. Quit the last player standing, the last player to fall in these respawns, and now immediate credence over towards A.
I mean, that's 4 dead in the feed. They can hit any site they want right now. You're right, 4 stack here trying to get towards the A side, but again, you have to find the kills here now as the respawns come up to the side of X Element. Kills going either which way, 1-for-1 trade, but Senpai is able to find 1. Again, Void though into the fray finds another. And can you find it, Senpai? Able to fight back, and he's able to hold. The Skyriser is able to secure that A site.
They are flying on forward too. X Element into the spawns. They will go once again. Starting to become Groundhog Day for them as Senpai just relentlessly will not give up. You'll be able to shut down the immediate B pressure for now. You still have to deal with 2 players that could potentially repressure their way on in. That being Age and Senpai. Now going to be Senpai on the heater. He'll finally be shut down. We still have to deal with Age, who's worked his way into bottom winery.
And X Element, you're feeling a little bit of the pressure now. You're feeling a little bit of the speed that the Skyrisers are starting to gain. You continue to find the kills, though it won't much matter. But Age, again, you talked about it. He's found his way into the back lines. It's starting to be a little bit of a thorn in the side.
X Element, they have to stabilize. They have to stabilize now. 18 playing 24, still very much manageable. But it just feels like things are not going to swing their way unless they're able to find a solidified 4 dead in the feed. That's 2 from Quit. Still have to deal with aces over towards the top side. That could be, again, the thorn in the backside. We continue to say his name for that reason. Skyrisers still very much alive with this B hit.
Still very much alive in this round, but again, Quinn, I think they've done enough to be able to garner the tick advantage. So again, even if this goes to the round 5, they should be on the defensive side. Again, you find your way onto the B side, there's a chance to end this out right here, right now.
First tick of progress in. Contestant in, though, for the side of X Element. Quit flying on forward. Finds the kill. Age will finally be shut down himself as well. Ace is the last player standing. Just continuing to try and send them a little bit off kilter. Keep his life eventually shut down. Now aggressing into the spawns. X Element trying to pause the push for now.
Can you pause the push? How long does it go through? You still have 48 seconds to deal with, but if the kills can come through, you can start to potentially set up the spawn trap, but going either which way right now, trying to play ring around the Rosie. Quit holding a nice lane back towards Backwell. Maybe able to find 1 more here. Going to be onto the hill. Impulse will go.
Quit's pockets are full of Posey, that's for sure. Now an artificial pinch starting to develop as well, as Skyrisers have the opportunity to maybe get a lane on in over towards B. It's just not going to happen through the wave of the kills. X Element will finally be able to recollect themselves ever so slightly. 8 playing 9, time ticking away as well. This could be the final stand within this round for the Skyrisers, but as you said, they very much should collect their way over towards the defensive side in our next one.
I mean, it's another 4 ticks here in this round. You're starting to put a couple of kills together, too. Hold on. It's not quite over yet, but Quit has a big position here towards the top side. He gets shut down, though. Now it's a little bit credence area for the Skyrisers. Void, good trigger discipline, at least able to find one, but now the Skyrisers able to stop the time. Age should have the read onto his positioning, and does, and now hold on. Skyrisers in, but watch out for Devin.
S&D for the side of X Element, and Devin's gonna make good on his last life. Cuts them off of the time. Last player that can contest is Senpai. He's just not able to touch on in time. We will go to that round number 5, but the damage has been done. Slight wind in the sails for the Skyrisers, as they should have just secured that defensive-sided round. Close us out on this map, and now X Element, they're going to need to take map number 3 in the 3-0 sweep if they want to keep it. The means of brute force.
And again, you're looking at that as the Skyrisers on the defensive side, and X Element here. You talked about it, Quinn, in that first round. Looked like they had a couple of chances to perhaps get on those sites and kind of threw it away. In their second offensive round, though, Skyrisers looked very, very good coming from the defense. What does X Element do here? Make or break round here for map number 3.
Here we go. X Element, it's going to have to be here. It's going to have to be now. Early kills will swing their way, but immediately it's just going to fall to pieces. Quit's unfortunately going to kill his teammate. Now you don't have the credence over towards A. You're eventually shut down as well if you're Quit. Now a hit from the rock side once again, just batted down from the Skyrisers. It just feels like every single step you take is the wrong one if you're X Element. We're able to stabilize with 2 kills, so hold on, wait a minute.
Senpai's able to slip through, though. They're not aware of his positioning right now. He could potentially get into the backlines, but if you look over towards the B side, big 1v1 here now upcoming. They're able to shut it down. Shots back from Aces. He will get shut down, and now double stack here over towards the B side, and Skyrisers kind of on the other side of the map.
Skyrisers, though, they're going to get there maybe in time. Devin has a big load on his shoulders. Can he get a kill to swing this completely in favor of X Element? The last second contestant is in, but Devin is there as well to stand tall. Senpai now making his way on forward, shut down. X Element looking to take this B point. They should very much have it after 3 dead in the feed. 22 playing 18. Extra minute on the clock to work with and a couple of kills to parlay their way over towards A.
And you've got a couple of players starting to play the spawn trap out as well. 1:42 on the clock. A lot of time to survive here. Now with only 14 lives remaining here for the side of the Skyrisers, you're continuing to get picked apart. You're continuing to just get shut down. You can't even leave your spawn. Devin is Frosty, continuing to put people in the grave. And this may be all she wrote for the side of the Skyrisers.
It's just a solo cap from Quint. X Element, they're just wanting to say, yeah, that last attacker side round or 2, not necessarily our identity. You do take out Elias, though. Watching the cross is Void. He'll be able to find his 1, but it's still going to be an opportunity for the contestant over the top from Impulse. He'll be shut down off the respawn. Devin will go. Now the second tick of progress is in. X Element looking to close it here. Now a last second contestant is in, but immediately shut back down. Aces will be able to find 2, though, to close things and maybe make it manageable for the Skyrisers, but with 2 lives left, playing 16, this one should be over.
I mean, it would have to be the greatest play in Control history. Aces all on his lonesome here towards the side. Not going to be able to find it. Last one up, potentially the last one to fall. As Jeff Harding off the top and X Element come back from 2-1 down into Control to lock in map number 3 and lock in a 3-0 series sweep to get their round 2 of games started out on a high note.
Good looks out of X Element. The spawn trap as lethal as ever. Quite frankly, I didn't know how lethal it was. I looked at the time and I saw, hey, maybe an opportunity here, but then you look at the lives and you say, oh, there's only 2 players left for the Skyrisers. Yeah, that one is just about done. Hey, you keep it a little bit mixy on map number 3, but X Element, just like Thanos, they are inevitable. They're not pink, though. Thanos isn't pink. All right, I'm going to stop talking about colors. Jeez Louise. All right. 3-0 for the side of X Element. They close things out. The Skyrisers just, again, not able to get it done. Good looks out of the side of Impulse, but that is really just about it. As, again, they're back to the drawing boards early on within round number 2.
Yeah, just a dominant showing from X Element back from LAN and looking like the X Element that we have come to know and come to love here. 250 to 84, 6-2, 3-2, 3-0 sweep. as X Element walks away with the series. But again, Quinn, one more series on the docket, and might be the spiciest one of the night, and a series that we are potentially looking to go deep into the pockets, maybe even to that Skyline HP at least here.
Yeah, should be a banger. Up next, the Houston Spartans taking on Octane Esports, formerly from round number 1, the number 1, number 2 seed. But we'll see how that might change after the break. Don't go anywhere.